Hello everyone and welcome back to another day of Road to TCG Worlds 2017. Now, as you can see, today's deck is the Umbreon GX deck I talked about in the previous English video. It's a version of Umbreon that I'm not entirely sure if this list is 100% accurate, but it was streamed during Sheffield Regionals, and so I paid attention to that. I made some educated guesses, and I'm pretty sure this should be like at least 58 to 59 of the correct cards. Not entirely sure if the 2 Kukui are correct. Might have been 1 Kukui 3N, but I'm gonna keep it for now, and let's review the deck and then move on to trying it out. Now, I have higher hopes for this deck than the Houndoom from Monday, which was honestly very disappointing. But we have a 4/4 Umbreon GX line. Now, it is the main attacker. I feel like this deck could definitely be improved upon by using the evolutions that turn you into different types, especially water type, as I feel like Volcanion is probably a really bad matchup because of the energy recovery they have available to them. Fire typing is not too crucial. Maybe if Decidueye Vileplume keeps picking up a lot of steam, and lightning type could be good, but Yveltal's not gonna really manage too many one-hit KOs against you. And Rayquaza, you have ways to control the deck through the Dark Hole GX attack, through your hammers, and through Parallel City. So, Umbreon GX, but I'm getting way too ahead of myself. 200 HP, very nice. We have already reviewed this card in the past, but let's go through it again really quickly. Strafe 30 damage, and you switch to one of your bench Pokemon. That's actually a pretty okay combo with Taurus, in the sense that Taurus wants to get hit, so you can abuse its attack, and Strafe puts Umbreon back into a safety position on the bench. Shadow Bullet, 90 damage plus 30 to the bench. Really cost effective attack with the single dark plus double colorless cost. But Dark Hole GX, which discards 2 energy from your opponent's Pokemon, is very crucial to this strategy. You have the Team Floor Grunt, you have the hammers, and you also have Dark Hole GX. So this deck plays a kind of control mechanism where you try to control what your opponent is doing, what your opponent is powering up, and then eventually, like, if they manage to set up one thing, you can KO it through Shadow Bullet. But the main idea is to control the deck. Like, it has 2 potential options. You can either go aggressive with a turn 2 Shadow Bullet and pressure your opponent's Pokemon, or you can go for a more control oriented aspect of the deck with the focused on the Dark Hole GX. Now, this does definitely clash a little bit with the Taurus GX, because you really want to use Mad Bull GX attack sometimes to get rid of an opponent's threat. So every game pretty much plays out differently. There's no like set strategy. A lot depends also on what you're drawing. If you're drawing not too well, you might go for the defensive strategy of removing energy patiently and things like that. If you start off really strong, you can go on an aggressive rampage. So a lot depends on what you start off with. And we do have Yveltal to play a 7 price game to recover energy, because since we're not using Max Elixir, we're not using Experience Share, we can only attach a single energy per turn. So that sometimes can cost you games actually. So recovering energy is pretty good with Yveltal. And of course our 2 mandatory Shaymin EX. Now we have 4 Sycamore, 2 Kukui, 2N, 1 Lysander. As I was saying, we also have 1 Delinquent, which is pretty good to catch your opponents off guard. To remove opposing Parallel Cities, to remove opposing Silent Labs as well. And it pairs up really well with I'm gonna get rid of your energy resources, and Delinquent makes them get rid of other kinds of resources, so that's pretty good as well, like the exhausting your opponent's resources strategy. For Ultra Ball, a single Nest Ball, which I did see on stream, so that's why I know it's there. Otherwise I don't think I would consider it, but it's been pretty handy, honestly. 3 Trainer's Mail, the 4/2 Crushing Hammer, Enhanced Hammer, which based on Houndoom's flips, I would definitely not recommend playing Crushing Hammer. I'm terrible at flips, but that's obviously my perception. A single Supra to potentially recover any resources, a single Team Floor Grunt as well, because it's a surefire way to remove energy, and that combined with an Enhanced Hammer can be really devastating for an opponent. And we have the 2 Floatstone to help us retreat our Tauros, our Umbreons, our Yveltals. and an 8-4 energy split, which seems really healthy. So that's the deck. Let's see it in action, because I feel like once you see it on paper, it doesn't feel too strong, but once you actually get to play it, I did see the stream. Mark Lutz, I think, was the name of the player who used it. He got top 32 at Sheffield, and like, he played a game on stream against Mega Rayquaza, which at every single point in the game, it felt like he was about to be, it felt like he was going to lose game 1 really decisively, but in the end he managed to turn it around, and especially against decks such as Darkrai Dragons and things like that, the Enhanced Hammers become really useful. The Dark Hole GX attack becomes really useful because they rely on experience share to keep their energy in play and keep using them, but if you're discarding through other means, such as your GX attack, such as Team Flare Grunt, such as Enhanced Hammer, or even the regular hammers, you're in a pretty okay position. Starting Shaman, obviously not ideal, but I'm sure we'll manage. This is one of the scenarios where you don't want to Sycamore away the Crushing Hammer because of how important they are to the deck strategy. The Oblivion Wing Yveltal is also a big issue for the deck because they can recover the energy you end up discarding, so that's something to consider. But then you can go aggro on that Yveltal as well. And we actually see an Umbreon. Okay. We actually see an Umbreon EX. Because I have the 2 Crushing Hammers, wow, I'm really surprised to see that Umbreon. That kind of speaks about, I don't know, a little bit about the quality of testing on PCGO. You can grind out a lot of games, but Umbreon EX is not a card that is justified at all to have in pretty much any deck at this point in time. There's not enough megas to justify it, like the combo with the Ninja Boy is not too surprising, or it's not too, well, I guess at this point it would be really, oh gosh, is it gonna play a Stadium and Delinquent me on turn 1? I guess at this point it would actually be very surprising to see, but since it's not useful in every match, I definitely wouldn't recommend playing Umbreon EX in any dark type lists. In any at all. We do see an Ultra Ball. We do see an Ultra Ball for a Darkrai. And we do see a Sycamore. Okay, so thankfully, no Delinquent. My opponent does play the Ninja Boy, does play Delinquent, does play Lysander, does play N. He even plays the Hydreigon EX. Hydreigon EX. So also not the most optimal version, I would say, of Dark Dragons. I mean, at least not the standard version that we are used to. There's not much I can say about that. Discards to Darkness Energy, that's really good for us. Goes for the Shaman. So yeah, I feel like players right now are not really taking into account. I don't know if this deck will feature in Australia. After seeing it and after playing with it, I do feel like it could be a good option for me. But I feel like it's too weak to Gyarados, it's too weak to... Man. I've been just getting the absolute best starting turn. The absolute best possible turn 1. Wow. And yeah, as I was saying, that Oblivion Wing Yveltal is gonna render my Crushing Hammers pretty useless, honestly. And he even has a parallel to get rid of the Shamans. Wow. Oh boy. Half the deck of my opponent gone. Not the perfect bench. That Umbreon EX is definitely terrible to have there, but hey, what are you gonna do? Okay, so can I flip heads here? I can, so I'm gonna get rid of the energy from the active. Can I flip another heads then? Yes, I can. That's really nice. That's very nice. And I'm not gonna touch the energy. I'm gonna hope to hit either a Floatstone DCE I feel like I do this a lot as well. Like I Sycamore into 5 or 6 just completely unplayable hands. Or cards rather. There's the energy. My Shaman is at risk of getting KO'd. Man. This is just absolutely horrible. Okay, can I flip heads then? Nope. No more heads for you, Pablo. No more heads for you. Okay, I'd like a DC to recover my Shaman. And I do get it, okay. So I'm going to Kukui? Is that my play? Or I can Lysander up the Darkrai and potentially force him to attack into my Tauros. Seems like a better play here. Right now he's dealing 80, 90 damage. So he could Lysander, KO my Shaman EX. Given that he has a Lysander already there and only one Berserker used, that's definitely a possibility here. There's a double Dragon Energy, and he just outright Dark Pulses into my Tauros. That's surprising. I'm gonna retaliate. See, I would love to not have to use my Mad Bull GX attack, but I return 170 damage maximum with the Kukui. So we're gonna get rid of this and this. I'm gonna find another Eevee. And I think I'm gonna Sycamore here. Okay, so I'm gonna play this, but I'm gonna fail it. And I'm gonna bench this guy. Let's try to remove that double Dragon Energy. Yes. That's... no, actually. How many? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this energy instead. And let's Mad Bull GX. Yeah, maybe that was a mistake, because now he can KO me with the Hydreigon EX. Yeah, and he immediately promotes it. Yep. Probably should have removed the double Dragon Energy. He's gonna Delinquent. That's fine, I think. I'm gonna get rid of, well, as long as I find something off of the Trainer's Mail, which I should. My deck is relatively thin, and I have yet to play a single Berserker. So the Parallel City for sure. I want a DCE, so I'm gonna choose the Darkness and the Ultra Wall. The rest of the cards I feel are super useful here. And worst case scenario, wow. Okay, so my opponent is out of cards in his hand. Well, he's gonna get 2, I guess. He is going to get 2. I need to find a DCE. That's what I need here. So I do find a Berserker. That Berserker will go for a Sycamore. I still have 3 potential DCEs in my discard pile. I can also promote the Yveltal. I can bench the Eevee, and let's Sycamore here. Could have also grabbed the Enhanced Hammer and used Team Flare Grunt to remove everything. I of course do not find the DCE, and that was a bad play as well, I think. Yep, that was a bad play. I should have just retreated and attacked with the Yveltal. I would have had the same thing except with an extra energy on board. Everyone finds a Trainer's Mail, finds a Max Elixir. No Stadium means Hydreigon's ability is not working at the moment. which is good. He hits the elixir and he ends us both to 4 cards. So what could he be looking for? For an escape rope, for a double dragon energy to attach and retreat, which I wouldn't mind. A stadium will allow him to retreat, or he might just end up passing. Nope, he finds a double dragon and decides to go on the offensive. Okay. So let's try to Team Flare Grunt or Enhance Hammer, even better. Even better. Now I have a huge army of Umbrians, and I feel like I should start pressuring my opponent. So I'm gonna Sycamore here. I have all 4 Umbrian GX in play now. And I don't want to play a stadium to allow him to retreat more easily, so I'm just gonna Dark Cold GX. And I wanna focus, like, Darkrai EX is the only real threat here. It's generally the only real threat. So if I can power up to Umbrians, I should be good. Well, a Lysander against one of my Umbrians could actually be really hurtful. Could actually be really hurtful here. But he could definitely buy my opponent a few turns. He goes for a special charge. That's fine. We're both pretty close to decking out, actually. Like, even if he finds the double dragon energy, that's fine. He does hit the elixir, so going after that Darkrai was a good idea. And he finds a switch. He does in fact find a switch. Wow. And gets another double dragon energy in play. How many? That's 1, 2, 3 basic dark. That's 8 basic dark so far. Okay. This is gonna be a really big war of attrition. But I want to try and force him to retreat. I want to return the Taurus and the 2 darts. And now I won't KO the Hydreigon, but that's okay. That's actually part of the plan, I think. And 30 damage onto the Darkrai EX. He shouldn't have another Fighting Fury belt. That's 3. No deck runs 4. So if I'm able, if he doesn't do anything, or if I can Lysander up the Darkrai EX and attack it with Shadow Bullet, that should be game. Because I KO the Hydreigon, I leave Darkrai at 30 hit points from getting KO'd. He does find the double dragon, and he's gonna go for the shred attack. That's okay. It's actually okay. Now I'm going to Lysander up that Darkrai, and like I'm definitely going to need a Darkness Energy, right? Definitely going to need a Darkness Energy so that I can KO that Darkrai wherever it is. But there, I get one from my prizes, so I should be good here. I should be good. He might end me though, but I still have 2 Verseeker left. One might be prized, so potentially only 1 Verseeker left. Not entirely sure. And it just Dark Pulses, so that's game. That is absolutely game. And yeah, my mistake was that turn where I used Strafe instead of Oblivion Wing. That was definitely my bad, but this is more than enough to KO and beat my opponent. So yeah. Wow, I had 3 energy price, no wonder. But yeah, there you go. The hammers flips were average, I think. I got 2 heads, 2 tails. Or was it 2 heads, 1 tails? The enhanced hammers were super crucial. Super crucial. And I feel like those are really good in the current metagame. To slow down things like Turbo Dark, to slow down things like the evolutions, to slow down Giratina decks, things like that. Okay. So now we're up against a fighting type deck, which is obviously very bad news for us. Very bad news. I did manage to beat a Lycanroc GX deck during my practice games with this deck through the energy denial. Oh boy. Through the energy denial strategy. But this is Passimian. And Passimian is going to be really hard to deal with. Fright Night Yveltal is going to be crucial, except against Mew it's not going to do too much. Shaman is also going to be really crucial. Really crucial. Okay, so I'm gonna attack one Passimian. And I'm gonna Trainer's Mail, grab the Ultra Ball, I guess. See, the thing is, I have an idea, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna Strafe. Even if he gets the other 2 Passimians down, he shouldn't be able to KO my Shaman. And then I can Float Stone, attach the DCE, and KO the Passimian. Or I could Lysander up a different Passimian and try to hit the Crushing Hammer. Things are not looking good here. Things are not looking good. An Ultra Ball probably for a 3rd Passimian. 1 might be priced as well. There's that possibility too. He definitely runs Special Charge. He most definitely runs Special Charge. So, there's a Nest Ball. 3 Passimian now in play. But maybe between Fright Night Yveltal and Shaman. Okay. He team plays for 50 damage. Now let's see. Can I get rid of the energy? Nope. So what I'm going to do is Lysander up a new Passimian. And I mean, dealing 90-30 doesn't accomplish too much, I don't think. But I need to go for my other Shaman, if it's in my deck, which I generally don't know. I don't remember. It is, okay, good. Good. So I could still remove the energy too. Like ideally, I remove energy through KOs too, at some point or another. And okay. So in an ideal world, his 4th Passimian is prized. Maybe? In a very ideal world. Puzzle of Times. puzzles of... I have no idea how to say that in plural. Okay, for 2 Trainer's Mail, so his hand must be really bad. And he's desperately looking for a supporter card. First Trainer's Mail finds him an Acrobike. Second Trainer's Mail finds him another Acrobike. Fair enough. Discards a Mew. And discards a Lysander. We see another Bursting Balloon. We see a Verseeker for an end. So we use the Verseeker for the Lysander that we really want to use. Like, if I can Lysander, KO this Passimian and this Passimian, that's gonna be absolutely huge. And I do have a chance to find it off of his Trainer's Mail. Okay, that Nest Ball into a Mew clearly indicates that my opponent doesn't have, or rather the 4th Passimian is priced. So can I pull this off? No, I can't. But I can, however, Team Flare Grunt. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Enhance Hammer. Oh, that was really dumb. That was actually really dumb. Because I'm gonna take a KO anyways. Oh, but I can take a KO with Shaman. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that was maybe not so dumb. I'm gonna retreat into the Shaman. I'm gonna pay with a DCE. Because he hasn't played the town map, even if he finds a prize card, we should be okay here. And who do I promote? That's the question. I have the Floatstone, so maybe the Yveltal? No, I'm gonna promote the Shaman. Probably Yveltal was a better idea. Not entirely sure, but oh well. We'll manage. Basically, I want to deny my opponent of energy. That's my plan here. And there's already 2 DCs in the discard. Sure, he has Special Charge. Sure, he has Puzzle of Time. There's another DCE. But we have ways around that. And now he's down to 2 Passimian. 1 is still, most likely, or well, 1 is still in the prize cards. He hasn't seen the prize cards just yet. Is that? Yeah. 4 Mew, 4 Passimian. Oh, he's gonna Professor Kukui, so he is going to get the KO. And he found the town map, so an 100% perfect turn for my opponent. 100% perfect turn for my opponent. And he grabs the Passimian and something else. Man, that was hideous. That was worst case scenario. That was definitely worst case scenario. And I have no N. I have no N to help me in this precarious situation. Okay, to avoid that damage, well, he still plays the Passimian and KOs me, assuming he has the DCE. Okay, I definitely played the Team Flare Grunt, that's for sure. And that's 3, right? We know the last one is not priced either. I mean, is it even worth it to use the Super Rod? Can I discard the Super Rod? But I don't want to discard the Shaman. Do I discard the DCE then? No. No way. So I discard the Floatstone? Fine, I'll discard the Floatstone. And I will go for the other Fright Knight. I mean Oblivion Wing. I keep calling it Fright Knight, but it's Oblivion Wing Yveltal. Okay. So I'm gonna draw 5 brand new cards. Okay, this is good news. This is actually really good. I mean, he gets rid of the Shamans, sure, and the 2 Mews. But that's okay, I think. Because if he doesn't have an immediate counter stadium, which he might not, I mean, it's an extra card that I force onto him. Right? It's an extra card that I force onto him. So let's Oblivion Wing. And let's power up this Clean Umbreon. Okay. So if he wants a KO, he needs a Stadium, a TCE, and the 4th Passimian. We know he has a 4th Passimian. What we don't know is if he has the 4th TCE and the Stadium. Okay, so he chooses to attack with Passimian. Oh. Man. Well, what prize card is he going to grab? He grabs the Puzzle of Time and something else, yeah. With the Puzzle of Time, that's pretty much game. Well, maybe not. No, yeah, it probably is. Because... well, I do find the N. So that's my saving grace here. My saving grace is this N top deck. That's also the 4th DC in the discard pile. And I do have the Lysander, so if I can pull off a double KO next turn, that's gonna be huge. Or maybe even a Delinquent. So I'm gonna take the KO on the Mew. Well, yeah, that was a bad idea actually. That was a terrible idea. Should not have KO'd the Mew because that opens up the slot for the 4th Passimian. There it is. That was really dumb of me. Oh, you're kidding. That was my bad. But how is it that he gets the exact cards he needs? How is it that he gets the exact cards he needs? Man. That's gonna be it, guys. See, the thing is, this keeps happening. This keeps happening. I tried to showcase a deck, and then we're playing Houndoom, and we face off against a Swampert Lapras GX deck. And today we're playing Umbreon, and we face off against Passimian, which is not a deck you will face at tournaments, or at least I don't think it's too competitive. So yeah, I don't feel like I've really been able to showcase the decks properly so far. It's been very frustrating, but anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. I am pre-recording this, and I am bulk recording a ton of videos, so you guys have content whilst I'm in Australia. So I hope you can bear the shorter videos because of this. I'll be back from Australia. Today is Wednesday. I'll be back from Australia on Friday. So next week we should be back on track with everything. Hopefully I won't be too jet lagged though, because that's gonna be a thing for sure. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Please leave a like on the video. If you can, subscribe if you haven't yet, because I know a lot of you haven't subscribed yet. And I will see you guys on next week. Bye bye.